Bonjour, je m'appelle Sankey. My name is Sankey, and on today's videotape, we're going to be doing a little, comment vous dit, coin magic. Magic avec les pièces with the coins. Now, the routines and the moves and all the ideas we're going to do today are things that I've been working on for a very long time. There's strange moves and weird moves. Some of them I work professionally all the time, tous les jours. All the time I use them to make the people go, hee hee hee, where did the coin go, you fucking asshole? Other times I haven't done some of these moves for a long time. So it's a bit of this, a bit of that. I think you find many of the ideas are très intéressant. They're kind of strange, they're kooky, and you think, hey, he did a lot of heroin. No, marijuana. Anyway, be that it is may, comment vous dit, smoky. I will be showing you the routine. There are a wide variety. You enjoy, grab some coins and sit down and take your clothes off and put peanut butter on your things and go nuts and crazy, and I hope you have fun. Merci bien pour acheter le video. Thank you very much for buying the video. Bye bye, I see you soon. The magic pose. Here's a little production I call amazing. Watch carefully. Just like that, you can get literally 8 or even as many as 10 coins one at a time, simply from this production. Now this may sound like a crazy or look like a silly thing, but it's a real fooler, and I certainly, if you're a manipulation act, this is perfect if you're a manipulation act. But even in a walk-around situation, a production of a single coin or even several coins, all I'm using is a $50, and on the other side, I've glued construction paper, black construction paper or Bristol board, okay? Notice it's non-reflective, it's not shiny, and that's stuck on the back of one coin, and I have a second coin. So I have on the back of 2 coins if you want to do a two-handed production. Notice if I take the coin and I simply, and this is so cool, turn it around and put it in that position against the black, the hand looks completely empty, okay? Sure, you're a bit of a doofus, but you still got this position. So all I do is put 3 or 4 coins on top of that coin. So the stack, the bottommost coin has the black on it. Put this in my hand. I think it's in downs, like that. So the stack's there. And now I can just strike this pose like this. I have the second stack in this hand, so they're mirroring each other, all right? Like I said, you can do it with 1 coin, 2 coins. If you happen to be obese and have really fat hands, I guess you could do it with 76 coins. You could do it with 52 coins and have like an ace of clubs through diamonds, hearts and spades written on the back, so after the production people could pick a coin, any coin, and you could find it. But from this position, you simply reach forward. Again, I'm here, like that. I lower my hand down, and because the black's on the back now, I can fairly show all 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's really a killer production of 2 coins, 4 coins, 6 coins. Literally, your sleeves up, you have your watch off, just a barehanded, perfect for videos, perfect for a television TV spot. Just boom, boom, and you have, voila, the coins.
Now let's take a look at Han Ping Chen. Han Ping Chen is about the ability of letting a coin fall secretly from inside your hand. Han Ping Chen is a very old technique. Let's look at it for a second. We have a coin here. I make a fist, I let it fall out the bottom. That's essentially Han Ping Chen. I don't move the fingers. Maybe I flex these a little just to make sure the coin can fall freely. But mostly, it's just the weight of the coin falling out of the hand. Now, the key to this kind of move is your body's language. Your body's language. If I just drop it, that's nothing. But if I'm over on my right and I swing to my left, a la slide-ee-nee-nee-nee-nee, I can let it fall out and this hand can come up. If I do this, it's obvious. If I do that, it's less obvious because I'm starting from the right, moving to the left. It's as if the left hand is in the way of the right hand as the right hand tries to go down to the mat. Like that. Like that. Like that. So I'm letting it fall out and making it appear as if it comes from the right hand. Now, let's look at it in the context of a coin roll. If I have a coin roll going on, first it's impressive, ooh-wee, but it also has inherent visual misdirection. Let me show you. 4 American half dollars. 1 and 2. Terry Seabrook, 4. 4 American half dollars. I say I'm going to make all 4 coins go from my left hand through the air. Watch the first one. Here we go. Oh, just like that. That's number 1. Oh, there's number 2. Watch the third. Whoa, there's number 3. Watch the. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 coins. So that's using the hen ping chen under cover of a coin roll. Let me show you what I mean. Watch. I'm here. My left hand's deliberately over here. I'm rolling. I'm going to make it look like I take the coin and put it down. That's what I'm going to make it look like. What I do is after the coin roll, I pull the coin back into the hand with my thumb, up and in, and I hold it there. So it's just rolling and my left thumb pulls it in. My right thumb pulls it in. My right hand dips down at the same time as the coin falls out of that hand. You put it together and it's this. Slow motion. Okay? I'm pulling the coin back into the fist, letting that one fall out. Now, the whole routine from the beginning is 4 coins. You have 1 in classic palm. Toss 3 in that hand, 1's kept in classic palm. As I make a fist, my left thumb pushes 2 of the coins up and forward, leaving 1 below the other 2. So 1, when I make a fist, it is ready to be tossed out or allowed to be fallen out. That's my position left hand. Right hand has a coin palmed. Here we go with the routine. Reach to your right, coin roll. Apparently put it down, but let the first coin fall out of the left hand. Again, fiddle for a second while you shake. Separate those 2 coins so one's lower again, ready to fall out. Reach. There's number 2. There's number 3. And finally, there's number 4. Performance speed. From the top. Hello, my name's Jay. These are some frickin' coins. Watch. All 4 coins. Gonna make them jump from my left hand to my right. There's number 1. How's your father? There's number 2. How's your mother? Here's number 3. I strangled your brother. And finally number 4. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 coins across. Hi, 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 hi.
First, you need a coin or a wash or whatever. In this case, I'm using a 25 ore coin. I think it's a Danish coin. I've got a coin with a hole in it. And what I've done is I put a cotter pin. I put a cotter pin through it. So there's a cotter pin stuck through it. And then I just opened up the cotter pin. I've trimmed the cotter pin so the coin can lie in classic palm and I still have a pretty good grip. If the cotter pin was longer, it would get in the way of the palming. Okay? I have a duplicate of that coin on, in this case, a 2 of hearts. Got a duplicate on it with the cotter pin stuck through, as you can see, and stuck right through and opened on the back. That's whatever I want to do this trick. Now you don't have to have the card signed. You don't need to. It does add to it. In a walk-around situation, if I want to do the trick many times in a row, I wouldn't bother to have it signed. If I want it to be a real keepsake though, or something really, then I'd have it signed. I could tear the card off and put the coin back in my pocket. Or as I've actually done once or twice at like an important meeting where I really want to land a gig and give someone a keepsake, I've just given them, because this 25 ore coin I think cost me about 14 cents. I just give it at the end. Now, performance-wise, this starts on the bottom of your pack. On the bottom of your pack of cards, that starts right there, like that. This, you introduce first, you bring this out, and you talk about saying, this is a card hunter. It may look like just a coin with a rivet, but it's actually a card hunter. This will track down playing cards. You may not believe me, but watch. Drop that on the table. You can cut the pack. Easy to keep a break. Well, with the coin and it's easy because there's a break. So it's physical. Anyway. So you're like that. You go through the pack they call stop. Wherever they call stop, you cut to the break. Okay. You reach underneath with your first finger and middle finger, and I just turn over the deck and notice I'm covering the cotter pin or covering the coin. That's my position. Now, if you want to have it signed, what I do at that point is I've already had the marker. I have someone take the cap off the marker and say, would you put your initials on the card? And they put their initials on the card, but because they've had a number of strokes, their initials are iffy. All right? So there's their initials. FF, which stands for Obie O'Brien. I think that's what it stands for. So we're here, like that. You're there. Now, I'm going to come up and apparently take the card out. Here's what it looks like. I'm going to blow and apparently take the card off. Now, what I actually did was this, the exposed view. So I'm here. I push the card actually to the side with my left thumb and take the card beneath it, the king of spades in this case, and go away like that. It's nothing fancy. It's just a simply push down and pull, all right? So in this case, all from the front, though, it looks like I do this, and the blowing sells the idea that this is still their signed card. Sometimes I'll even go, oh, I got a little like that, just to suggest that I got some of the marker on me. You stick it in the middle of the deck openly. They see it go in the middle, you square it in openly. You say, I'm going to try to find the card now. You're all set. I show this. Here's where the hand ping chen comes in. I draw attention with my left first finger, I point, and I go once, twice, and on the third toss, this is how it looks. I go, watch the last one. I toss it off my hand and hopefully found the card. So that action again, let's watch it. I'm here, and I make it look like I'm going to toss it down. I keep it in classic palm. I leave this, because I've got a pinky break beneath it, I leave it in the air slightly as my left hand moves. I sort of leave it hanging, and the right hand flaps it down. So it's here, there, like that. In performance, it's watch. This coin is going to actually find your card. Boom, like that. They can then immediately pick up the coin. They're startled to find the cotter pin. Not only do they just find this, the assigned card, but the cotter pin is firmly stuck through the very belly of the two of hearts. I'm always thinking. That's the thing about me. Some people think he's not so... I got the glasses say, hey, he's a clever guy. I bet he's always thinking. I'm always thinking. Don't you think I'm not thinking? I'm thinking. Now, this is a thought I had, kind of interested. I thought to myself years ago, alrighty, if a coin can fall out in that hand ping chen, if that's hand ping chen, I guess I could toss a coin back in. I could do it through the thumb hole, like that. I could toss it from the right hand into the left hand. Apparently going straight down, I could chuck that sucker. Just chuck that sucker across and land the left fist. So I thought to myself, if that's hand ping chen, I guess this little baby's chen ping hand. Ooh, baby! So watch. You can do a couple things with this. First, you can do it in the thumb hole, like that, and make it look like a vanish. Problem with that is, the left hand is stationary, which is effective, but you can get a streak of coin going across. So what I worked out is this idea. If I toss the coin here and I'm pointing, and what I do is my left hand retreats from the scene as my right hand, I can toss the coin into the awaiting right hand, just as I go down. Now, you do not want to be going here like that. You want to go straight down as you can go, straight down, all right? Now, here's the way I use it. I use it as a one-coin vanish. Ooh, it's nice. Watch. Take the coin. I say, watch carefully. Watch that coin. Disappears. See, so all I'm doing is tossing, pointing, and then as the left hand gets out of the way, the right hand goes down. You get a nice flow on it, and it looks like you take a coin in your hand. They can see it openly, and you make that sucker disappear. So that, my friends, is what I call hand ping chen. It's number 4 on your menu. This is a little something I sometimes use to, because my hands, just to kind of warm up my hands here, just to get them warm. Here we go. This is a very simple production. Again, it's like a lot of stuff I actually use for people. It's very, very simple, and the hands do a lot of the selling, but so does my attitude. And it's just a very casual two-hand equipment, and then the production using lum mask. The coin starts off on fingertip rest. It's just resting the left hand. You could go from classic palm if you want, and then let it fall on the fingertip rest, but it's there. The key is for the two hands to sell it together. So the right hand starts by shaking. Okay, notice the left hand is down by my side, but not like hidden. It's just sort of in a relaxed position there. So I'm shaking here, and the idea is to give a sense that I use this as an opener on a table. I'm just warming up my hand. And then as my right hand comes over to pull one of the fingers, like that, to loosen those up, I transfer the coin. The transfer moment comes hidden behind my left hand. This is the exposed view. My right hand comes down. These two fingers press the coin directly up into classic palm. It goes right up into classic palm as my right fingers close on my fingers like that. Okay? So it's just pushing the coin from fingertip rest into right hand classic palm. In performance, it looks like this. Shake the hand like this. Boom, come over like this. Pull the fingers like that. Give it a shake too. Finally, I come over, make a loose fist, and through the top of the holes where I'm going to drop the coin, a la lum mask, right? The exposed view is as I come over, it goes from classic palm and lands in the fist as I pass by. Performance speed, the lum mask move looks like this. Like that, all right? To cover it, sometimes what I'll do is I come by, I drop it over, and I immediately turn the fist face up again. To give the impression that the fist started down here, I come over like that, drop it in, and it gives that real smooth impression as if the hand was really never up in this position at all. Let's do it one last time in performance speed from the beginning. Is I'm here. I'll show you a little something. My hands are actually, I was doing some magic last night, so my hands are a little stiff, but let me just kind of warm them up here. Here we go. Now, if you watch, I should be able to actually make a coin up here. I don't remember the year, but Gary Kurtz and I used to do some sessioning. And I remember one time, he was playing with some stuff and getting ready to do a trick. And there was a coin resting on the mat. And I remember looking at him, and he just reached over, and he was getting ready, and he took the shell right off. Actually, the way he did it, he didn't fumble with it. The way he did it, he just reached over and took the shell off. Now, he didn't mean anything by it. But when I saw him do it, when I saw him simply lift the shell off a coin, immediately I realized that was an incredibly visual production of a coin. I mean, you literally just see the coin. Now, magicians, of course, I thought, well, to a magician, they'll know it's a shell. But to a layperson, it's going to look like one coin melts out of the other. So the idea, the lift-off production was born, and I combined it into a routine of mine, which again sort of got some notoriety among magicians, the Cartesian coin production. To set this up, you need 4 coins and a shell. Okay, 4 coins and a shell. Now, 2 of the coins are classic palm in the right hand. On top of those 2 coins, you're going to put the 3rd coin and the shell. So actually what you have are 2 classic palmed, and the outermost one is the coin with the shell on it. All right? Those are all palmed. Now, in performance, you show a single coin. Handle it fairly. Well, they're looking at the 1 coin. I do a pinky pull down, but with coins. The right finger comes over and just loosens, just pulls down that $50 with the shell on it, okay? And it's not that hard to be able to do it in a way that's quite quiet. It won't make any sound if you're careful. Now, I take the right-hand coin. Let me show you the performance speed once, and then we'll do it, then I'll break it down for you. Where I take a coin, I go, watch that coin. Watch carefully. Look at that. I had 1 coin. Now, I have 2 solid coins. I say, look, let's take it a step further. I say, watch, I'll take the 2 coins, just lift. Now I have 4 solid coins. And the cool thing is, they can examine all the coins. Okay? So, how did I get there? How did I use the shell? How did I get in and out and make it so visual? As I was saying, I've got a coin on the shell on top of 2 other coins. All 3 coins are classic palmed. I show this coin, do a pinky pull down the right hand, do a false transfer here, okay? You could do a French drop. I mean, you could do this, where you let the 1 coin fall back into the fingers and introduce the shelled coin here. You could do that. From the side view, of course, it looks like that. You could do that. But I prefer just do a David Roth shuttle pass. Boom. Switching. You carefully put the coin down with the shell on top. So now I have 1 coin here, 2 classic palms there, and a coin with a shell there. I reach over, and as neatly as I can, as nimbly, I simply lift the shell straight up and off to the side. You pause a beat. Now, I'm going to turn over that coin, just like that. But the right hand's going to do something different. The exposed view is what the right hand's going to do to switch the shell, is I'm going to let that coin fall and come over like this. Pick up the shell, leave that in its place, and put the shell back. So this is the switch. First finger and thumb. As I turn over, I switch the coin. That's the rollover switch. So I'm here with a coin and a shell. I come over, do the rollover switch. The left hand echoes the right hand, so you get this really nice switch where they can see both sides. Now, I'm going to apparently brush the coins together and move them forward. What I'm actually going to do, the exposed view, is I'm going to load the $half back onto that other coin, brush to cover the sound, and move forward so the shell ends up back on top of that coin. From the front, it looks like this. I've shown both sides of those coins. Load the shell on and leave it. There's the shell loaded on. To finish, the right hand comes over. We're going to do the same action again, but the left hand is going to mime it. I'm going to simply take this ordinary coin, hold it just above the back one, and lift up and forward. From the front, it looks like that. So coin, coin, coin. Still the shell there. I do my turnover switch one more time, and all 4 coins can be examined. You can go into whatever you want, because after I did the turnover switch, I put the shell in the classic palm. So it's just boom, boom, boom. A super visual production of 4 coins. Bam, bam, bam. Baby! How you doing? Welcome back. Let's take a look at the flying shuttle. The flying shuttle is something I came up with independently of, Jennings came up with as well. It's a really old idea. I think been kicking around for a while. Let me give you some pointers on it, though. It's not as hard as you might think. A lot of my coin magic's pretty kinetic. It's about sort of the more, not about finger flicking, but so much about getting comfortable moving your hands in a way where they relate to each other. All right? Now, flying shuttle. The coin rests on fingertip rest, and as the left hand turns over, the coin actually ends up in the air. Now, I am not flicking it with my fingers. There's no flicking action. I'm simply turning the hand over. And as I do, the inertia or momentum, the momentum of the coin. Now, if I have a second coin in play, look how sweet this looks, where I apparently have 1 coin. Using the Roth shuttle pass here, and then the flying shuttle back, you would swear that I only have 1 coin. I mean, it looks like only 1 coin. The flying shuttle is just so effective. Now, let's remember the flying shuttle, and I'm now going to show you a routine called slick splits. Traditionally, before this routine, when I saw magicians split coins, they would do something like this. I thought, sort of magical, but a coin is a small object. A hand, even my small hand, is a pretty big object. I thought, if you're going to produce a coin like that, I mean, duh, I wonder where it came from. It probably came from your hand. So I said to myself, if I'm going to come up with a way to split coins, I want it to happen at the very tips of my pinky, and at the very tips of my fingers, and it's got to look as fair as possible. So, if you have a coin there and one in classic palm, and if you're apparently reaching over to pick up that coin, but you drop the coin from classic palm onto fingertips, and you pull across, from the front, it looks like this. Looks like I have a coin, just a single coin, and I go, watch, I'm going to pull it apart. So that's the effect I wanted. This is slick splits. I came up with it many years ago. And again, you can do it silently or with sound, or you can introduce sound. Okay, like that. Mama, mama, ouchie, bow, 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 bow. So, but you can do it with several coins. If you happen to classic palm 1, 2, if you classic palm 3 coins, okay? And what I like to do is, again, sort of stagger the top coin so you get a bit of a lip on it. Those are the 3 coins classic palm. You have 1 coin you take out of your pocket. Here's a routine I'll often do. I say, here's something with a coin. If I give it a little tap, I can actually break the coin like an egg. You may not believe me, but watch. As they're looking at that, the pinky reaches up, pulls down the 1 coin from classic palm, and I do just a standard Roth shuttle. Apparently put the coin in the hand, but I'm using cap subtlety to make it look like you're just seeing the palm, but in fact, there's a coin hidden in there. So it's here, there, and I go watch. So that's the first split, very traditional. But now with these last 2 coins, I do the slick splits move, which is to take a coin, I go watch, just a pull, and I can get another coin. I say finally, and this is where I really sell it, doing shuttle pass, flying shuttle back and forth. I say watch this last one, and I do the last switch. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 coins split from a single coin. Okay, let's take a look at Ramsey subtlety. I apologize, actually. I mentioned earlier it was cap subtlety. Cap subtlety is actually when you classic palm a coin and you hold an object like this, and they assume the hand is empty because they can't see the classic palmed object. That's caps. I apologize. Between the last trick and this trick, I actually called David Roth, who contacted Al Goshman. He is dead, but we used it was a long-distance call. It worked out okay. And Goshman actually put us on to Scarney's wife's sister, who apparently slept with Mullica's daughter's friend, Peter. So we all talked together and we figured out the cap subtlety is this, and the Ramsey subtlety is when you have an object in finger palm and you try to make sure the sight lines for a spectator is the palm looks empty, but you've concealed objects in the hand. Okay, so that's really what you're after with the Ramsey subtlety. Now, years ago, one of my dream ideas has always been is how can I produce 4 coins from my empty hand? That's sort of how I came up with the black stack production and many other, some Goshman pinch stuff we'll work on in a second. But how can I produce 4 coins one at a time from my empty right hand? So this is one of the techniques I came up with. If you finger palm 3 $half, now this is a weird move. I don't really have a name for it, but I haven't seen it in print before. And that is, if you kind of shimmy the coins between the flesh here and sort of the flesh on the fingers, if you shimmy the coins, you can work one coin free and it'll tumble forward. This is a way to release the coins from finger palm, one at a time, all right? That's key. That alone will take you some practice. But using the Ramsey subtlety, watch what I can do. I can show you one coin here. Let one of the coins fall from finger palm onto my fingertip rests, okay? So I'm in that position. I can apparently toss the coin from my right hand to my left hand using the flying shuttle. Use Ramsey to conceal the others, and they see one coin. Be careful you don't clink the coins and put the first coin down. I say, watch, I do it again. I repeat the same actions. I show a coin here, apparently toss it there, turn over, put it down. Show a coin here, toss it there, flying shuttle again, put it down. And finally, take a coin, show it, put it down. So I can literally, using the Ramsey subtlety, flying shuttle, combine Ramsey subtlety and flying shuttle, and you can produce 1, 2, 3, 4 coins from your empty hands. And if they don't like that, you just do the sponge ding-dong trick. This is just a weird one. It's weird! This is a weird one. It's strange. For this, you got to get a $half and get some white acrylic paint and paint the $half. You cover it with white, and you even do the edges. Even the edges of the $half in white. So what you have is a coin that's silver on one side, the rim is white, and the other side's completely white. You want acrylic, ideally a high gloss. If you can't find a high gloss, just any old acrylic that'll be on there permanently, okay? These will be on the market in the next month. They're called Wiki coins. They're called Wiki because they're weird. So that's your gimmick. Now, you need a white straw and an American $half, and you're set to go. I wanted to come up with an effect. I thought, wouldn't it be a great impromptu effect while I'm doing some one-coin stuff at a table in a restaurant? If I grabbed one of their straws, licked it clean, and then took a $half and was able to visibly pull it down through the straw and make it look like a snake swallowing an egg. Wouldn't that be cool? So, I came up with this very simple idea because I realized if I take a coin and I hold it against the straw, it looks like I'm pulling the coin down the length of the straw. So, let's look at the structure. Straw and coin both can be examined. You've got your little gimmick coin, classic palmed in your right hand. Okay? They look at the coin, make sure it's a solid object. I then do a shuttle pass, switching one coin for the other. And again, you want to keep it moving because the white edges here. I just switch one for the other and hold it up like this. Again, trying to keep the edges towards the floor and the ceiling. I then pick up the straw. Okay? So the real $half, finger palm the left hand. I'm picking up the straw here. I want it to look like I take the $half and say, watch, I'm going to actually just heat it up and take the $half and push it down right into the straw. That's the effect I want. But what I actually do is this from the back. Is I'm here. As I gesture with the coin, I turn it over as I come down. And as Di Vernon used to say, I mean, he doesn't say it so much anymore, a large action covers a small. So the action is me going up and down, apparently feeding the coin into the straw. From the front, I want to make sure my fingers cover it until this moment. Boom. Then I splay my fingers, cover the edges like that, and I'm in this position. The left hand comes over, drags the coin down the length, and all I'm doing is pulling the coin down the straw with my thumb on the back. So I'm here. As soon as I get out the bottom, I'm going to turn the coin over so the silver side comes up, like that. So the silver side comes up, table the straw, shuttle pass, switch out, hand that to them, they can examine everything. One last tip on that, and that is that I can do it with a quarter. I just, for demonstration's sake, for the video's sake, you can do it with a $half, but you can do it with a quarter, put white paint on a quarter, that way you can borrow the quarter, borrow the straw, do the trick, hand everything out, and if they don't like that, You tell them, I don't care, I'm on a fixed hourly rate. Best of luck with your little lives. It just don't get no simpler than this. It's the KISS trick. Maybe you heard some lame people talking about the KISS theory. Keep it simple, stupid. Keep it simple, stupid. They don't talk about the French KISS theory so much because everybody ends up pregnant. But here's how it look. This is about as simple as the coin switch as you could ever imagine. All you do is you got a coin in your palm, 1982. You remember the date. You got that finger palm, 1982. You say to someone, anybody got a quarter? Let's try something nutty and crazy. And they go, I got a quarter, Mr. Mandy. I got a quarter. And you say, okay, take a look at the quarter. Remember the date. They look at it and they notice their date is in this case, 1988. I go, fair enough. And I just do a switch, just a flying shuttle. I go, okay, fair enough. What I want you to do is going to ask you to hold on to this tightly. You hand them your 1986 coin, and they hold that in their hand, okay? That's in their fist. You say, well, fair is fair. You put up some money. I should put up some money. I'm sure I got a quarter somewhere. You reach in your pocket. You produce. You take out their coin. You miscall the date. You go, what's mine? Oh, 1986. Okay, you say, watch carefully. I tap my fist against yours. We say the magic phrase, the power of Christ compels you. The power of Christ compels you. Then I open my hand. I hand the quarter to someone, ask them to read off the date. They say, it's 1988. They then open their hand. Their quarter's the 1986. So the two quarters have very effectively changed places, borrowing Marlowe's copsil psychology about getting ahead of them before you introduce a secondary object. This is key. You introduce the two objects, they automatically start to think about complications and duplications. But if you hand them a single coin, they get focused on that, and then you introduce a secondary coin after the fact. Then they go 1, 2, buckle my shoe, 3, 4, he slammed my door, 5, 6, he does tricks. It's called improv. Try it sometime. I'll catch you later. This is a weird principle. This is a principle I came up with many years ago and was first in Sankey Panky. It's the wipe principle. Now let's look at the principle first, and I'll show you one of the applications I use it for. But there's a million different things you can do. The idea is that though magicians handle Sharpies all the time and mark coins all the time, lay people, of course, never mark coins. So they're not familiar with that process or even just how indelible a marker is on a coin. So what I do is by way of a shorter, the key to this is to sell it as an aside, okay? What I want it to look like is this. I want them to put their initial on a coin and then pick up a piece of tissue paper and wipe. While they put their initial on it, I want it to look like I just wipe their initial off momentarily and say it won't stay on. It's not permanent. It's only permanent and I ask them to mark it again. They mark it again. I say it's only permanent if we let it dry. So it's a real 1-2 beat thing. However, let's look at it. Because if I put a little, sometimes I'll bother to wipe it off, but for now, for explanation's sake, if I put a little ink on the piece of tissue paper, and I have a second coin, now what I can do is this. I can ask them to mark a coin. Let's say they put their initial on it, a big H, okay? I ask them to mark their coin. And I take the tissue paper with the coin concealed out of my pocket. If I do this, if I say notice, if we just rub it, the initial doesn't really stay on. And what I've just done, of course, is a switch. This is behind the tissue paper. I'm essentially doing the French drop, where I let this fall behind, their marked coin fall away, as I rub and come away. So this is the wipe principle. And then what you could do is to immediately extend now, say, but if I wipe it, it comes right off. But if you mark it again, they then put their initial on what they think is the same quarter again, and you say, now if we blow on it, like that, and let it dry, now there's no way it's coming off, go ahead, so rub it. It's a way to get two marked coins, or in a sense, two of the perfectly unique thing. And if you do it on the offbeat, I mean, whether you do coin and ball of yarn or coin and passing the sphincter of a passing greyhound dog, or whatever you happen to do, I've often done it coin and nervous midget, because midgets generally are nervous, but if you say I'm going to make a coin appear in your spleen, they get very nervous. So there's a lot of different things you can do with this, but let me show you one application, very simple, where they actually, I'm using the wipe principle, but in a different way. I have them put their initial on the coin. I say, notice, I can wipe it off if I want. I say, but here's the weird thing. Examine both objects. They examine both objects. I take the coin back, do the flying shuttle, which turns over the coin so they don't even notice their initials on the other side. Go to my pocket for a book of matches, leave the other coin, come forward, and simply rub. This is, of course, a piece of flash paper. Simply wrap the coin in the flash paper. have someone hold on to that. While they're holding on to that, I just take the lighter, light the match, like that. And I say, watch, you signed it. I say, watch carefully. I just light it here. Turn it back over, and their initial is back on the quarter. Hey! So we've learned about hen ping chen, coins falling out of the hand. Then we've learned about that wacky Sankey concept of chen ping hen, coins being tossed back into the hand. Let's take a look at another wacky Sankey concept, but let's make a circle. Let me show you. Hen ping chen, objects coming out. That's the traditional hen ping chen, okay? Chen ping hen, objects as we've shown earlier, being tossed into the hand. But what about combining the two? What about letting a coin fall out of the hand at the same moment as I toss a coin into the hand? What can you do with that? Well, when I was first playing with this, I'd borrow like a quarter, and I'd have an American $50, or I could do it with a wedding band and perhaps a small condominium. And I'd suggest that the two are going to change places. I go, watch. And I'd have the $50 here, the other coin here, and again, all I'm doing is going to go down. I'm going to let one coin fall out, one coin I'm going to chuck into the other hand. Okay? And this hand's going to open like a heartbeat, just for a second, to allow the object to actually get inside. Okay? I would do this for a layperson. I'd say, look, in this case, here's a Chinese coin. Here's a $50. I'd say, watch, I take the $50, just rub it. And now look, there's the Chinese coin there. And there's the $50 there, okay? Now I do that for a layperson, and they give me a look like, hey, I bet you just chuck those two coins. And so it's not very deceptive. Let me show you a way to make it deceptive. Card case. Introduce a little mystery into the proceedings. You want to buckle the flap of the card case. You want to buckle it, okay? What that means when I close it up like this, there's a nice natural gap between the edge of the card case and the flap, all right? What that allows me to do is if I happen to drop a coin inside, and I've given a nice bend on the card case, when I close it up, there's that gap so that I can shake it. But look, just a tilt, and the coin will neatly fall out, unimpeded, all right? So that's the technique we're going to use. Now, take the Chinese coin. I say, watch, you can drop it inside the case. I say, you can hear it. They do. They hear it inside the case. In putting the case down on my hand and moving it forward, all I do is let the Chinese coin fall out through the back of the case, and then I cover it up with the card case. All right? Now, if you get in the habit of with the left thumb, if you practice a bit, the left thumb can actually tilt the card case just a little, enough so you can do hen ping chen off the bottom of the case. Okay? So from the right side, which you always work hen ping chen from the right side working to your left, from your right to your left. If I then just put a Chinese coin in there, apparently, and I say, here's a $50, watch me take the $50 and rub it. Say, look, now there's the Chinese coin. Here. I shake the case, the $50 which is beneath the case, I shake the case, they hear it beneath. Open up the flap and pretend to dump it out. Like that. Now you have a killer transposition where you drop a coin in a card case, the two coins seemingly change places in full view, and you're done. This is just a weird idea. The Gallo brothers. The Gallo brothers? No, sorry, the Gallo men. The Gallo men came up with an idea called the Gallo pitch. A brilliant, beautiful idea. Looks great. Came to be known as, just because it was so funky, the bitch pitch. This is the bitch pitch ditch. All right? First we got the Gallo move. The Gallo brother move, the Gallows move, I keep saying Gallo brothers. The Gallo move is where you toss a coin from your left hand. Okay? Then you're going to apparently toss it from the right hand, but what I do is I put it in classic palm. I go into classic palm and I move forward. You combine it and it looks like there's one coin. Sorry, there's one coin, and there's the other coin. But what I do is let this one coin, I chuck the same coin. So I pick it up, move away, and I actually toss that coin. So it's here, there. But because this goes in the classic palm at the same time as you toss the coin, the retention of vision of that coin going forward is really beautiful. So that's essentially the Gallo pitch. Okay, it's a lovely idea, say, for a single coin traveling. It's beautiful. Now, what I did is I took it and I applied it to a lapping. Now, I'm not going to bother to sit down and do the whole thing for you lapping. You're going to hear it go. But watch. what I'm going to do is I'm going to toss the coin here, come back, and rather than classic palming the coin, I'm simply going to let it fall into my lap, okay? But the effect on it is this. Boom. Boom. And then the cool thing is you can make a coin literally disappear from between your hands. About 4 years ago, on a national television station up here in Canada, I was asked to do a spot on a talk show. And they asked me if I could do something that's sort of about telekinesis and the Uri Geller and all that stuff. And so I came up with a routine. What I want to do is I want to do something not with a spoon or something strange, but something with a coin. And I came up with a routine. What I wanted to do was I wanted the bend of a coin to happen in full view with no switches after the fact. I wanted them to see the coin literally bend and have no switches. Now it's very much based on the ideas, some of the ideas people have done with coins, keys and spoons. If you get an American dollar, silver dollar, and you bend it, okay, pretty much at a, 45? Is that a 45 or a 90? What is that? Do you know? I'll let you don't know. Is it 45? Oh, you won't answer? Or it's a 90? Is it a 90-degree angle?
I'd say 90.
I'd say 90. Thank you, brother. That'd be Adrian, camera guy. So, if you hold it in your hand like this, and if you just wiggle the lower flap, or the angle, you can get the strong impression of the coin visibly bending. Now again, as magicians, it's the kind of thing that we see. What magicians don't seem to understand is we have a certain perspective. It's a language. We speak the language of dimensions, of angles, and all these things. To a layperson, all they think is, what's the magician doing? Is he doing something with mirrors? What's he doing? And then it just seems to bend. So all you have to do is switch. So what I did is I had the host of the show actually examine this coin. She examined it thoroughly. And on the offbeat, I just apparently took the coin and put it like that. And all I'm doing, of course, is taking the coin, putting it into thumb palm, and apparently balancing the coin, or simply slipping it. I mean, obviously, I want it to look like this. I want it to look like I'm simply holding the coin in my left hand. But what I do is, since I already had this in finger palm, and I just let it fall on the fingertip rest, is I took the coin, like that, and I put it in the hand, okay? Now, in full view, what I could do for them now is make the coin apparently bend. And without any switch, I hand it to her. And it was one of those situations, how hosts, if you ever worked with TV and TV personalities, sometimes they can be a bit stiff or a bit, they can be stiff. It was one of those great moments where she literally, you could see her hostess face, everything, she expected something dorky. Her face fell away, and she just freaked out. She looked actually, 2 seconds later, she looked embarrassed that she let the TV see so much. Because television's about product, not so much about intimacy. It's technology versus community. Don't you see that? Greetings. This is a cool thing, requires a little one-time prep, but then you have a really cool gimmick. Get a wooden box of matches. Remove the matches, you're not going to need them. Push out the drawer. Get an X-Acto knife and cut a hole about half the bottom of the drawer off, okay? Now, with the sleeve itself, I've also cut half the sleeve off. What this means is when I slide the drawer back in, we're in a situation where it's all lined up from this side. It looks copacetic and fine, even from the back. But when we turn it over inside, we've got a hole going right inside. Now, take a card case, cut a hole in the card case, in one corner of it. Drop the matchbox down inside the case so that the hole in the matchbox is aligned with a hole in the card case. That's your gimmick. That's your one-time setup. Now, you can do this with a borrowed ring, but I actually like to do it with a borrowed quarter, too, a marked borrowed quarter, or they can examine the date. But I do think having the marked coins and marked objects gets them to get involved in the trick emotionally. It also adds a certain visual element, and it also makes it a more sort of not convincing, ultimately a more convincing piece of magic, a more magic feat than under test conditions with initials. All that implication comes into it. Now, with this down here, all I have to do is take the borrowed quarter, do a false transfer, say watch, like that, show the hand empty. Now all I'm doing is finger palming it here, like that. I lean in. I've done this sometimes on people's hands. You just lay the card case on someone's hand. They can't feel the cut in the bottom of it. So on someone's hand, you do this, you do that. Now I shake and say, listen, you can hear inside. And as I come over, I lay the case directly on the finger palmed coin, turn everything over and shake. I say you can hear it inside. Now, if it sounds a little heavy to you, there's a good reason. And notice that I'm covering the hole. I turn the card case over, take out the matchbox, let them hear inside, open it slightly, tip over the case, spill out their marked quarter from inside. So it's a surprise nest of boxes, just boom, boom. The way I've only been playing with this now for probably about 8 months, almost a year. The way I've been doing it is taking the cards out of the card case, putting the case away, doing a card trick, taking this fake card case out, and then I can borrow a ring or borrow a marked quarter, make it vanish, appear inside the case, and then put this in my pocket, slip the cards back inside here. I'm boom. So that way the production of the matchbox is itself a surprise. Then the object, the ring or a marked coin appearing inside it, is also a surprise. Alrighty. This one. We're going to do a few different coins across on this tape. This is one I used to use a lot of in bars because it has a frenetic energy about it. You're going to be doing a hand ping chen action, but rather than just letting a coin fall out onto the table or onto a spectator's hand, I'm actually going to scoop the coin out of the air with this hand. Here's the action. Coin there. I'm holding coin here. I want to apparently put this coin on the table. It's like this. Let me get that right. Sorry for you. I want to apparently put the coin on the table. That's the action. Apparently putting the coin on the table. And what happens is I allow the coin to fall out, just like hand ping chen, but this hand comes over and the hands almost touch, not quite, and these fingers actually squeeze open and close for just a second and scoop that coin out of the air. Don't think of it so much as tossing the coin. You're not tossing the coin from one hand to another. You're letting the coin sort of hang in the air while this hand, like a tube, think of it as a tube, literally snatches the coin out of the air. Now, in performance, this is the way this would work. This is the coins across. I don't use so much as I used to a few years ago, but I say, here's something with 4 coins. Classic palm one of the coins as you toss them from one hand to the other. And now, like I've done before, separate one coin from the other two with your thumb by rolling those others forward. Keep that down there. Now I'm going to do essentially the silver snatch several times in a row, where I go boom, there's one. I go boom, there's the second one. Whoop. Let me try that from the top. 3 and 1. I go here, boom, there's the first one. We'll pause for station. I didn't know. Watch carefully. Here we go. Here's the first one. Number 1. That'd be the first coin. There's the second coin. There's the third coin. And finally, there's the fourth coin. All 4 coins across. So, again, it's sort of half juggling, half magic. Oh, man. The Goshman pinch. The Tenkai pinch. These are words that scare magicians. I think a lot of it, it's like a lot of things, it's just ignorance. People just don't understand the move. So let's climb inside. Let's climb inside the pinch. Here we go. Coin is on. Fingertips here like that. Now, Tenkai originally, the Tenkai original idea was that the thumb holds the coin as these 2 fingers come up, spread like a little ballerina on crack cocaine, clip the side of the coin, and then the fingers come in. This conceals the coin. There should be no silver showing here. Then I believe it was Scotty York who came up with the idea of really taking a more of a back palm approach to it, which was this, is you make a fist on the coin, or you make hold the coin, make a fist beneath the coin. So essentially you're rolling all the fingers, clip it with just one finger. Now when you open your hand, it immediately is in Goshman pinch. Now notice, when I put it into pinch, not only should no silver be showing there, but look at the angle of the coin. Study that. That's the angle you want. You don't want it popping straight up. You don't want it held straight down. You want it at that 45-degree angle. That's the angle you want. The hands are held in a relaxed fashion. The finger is, in fact, holding the coin in place. No, you don't want it here, and you don't want it so much in like that people think you're Mary Yidid. What you want is you want just a little bit like that. So that's the Goshman pinch. Now we're going to talk about a few different things to do with a pinch, but let's start with 2 very simple ideas. One is production, something I came up with several years ago and I still use to this day as a one-coin production. The other is kind of a vanish that happens on the offbeat. You can use the pinch to do a kind of a neat vanish. Here's the production. I walk up to a table and I say, hi, my name's Jay. I'm going to show you a little something with 2 hands and a coin. Okay? So you start off with it in pinch here. You say 2 hands. As I come up, I'm depositing the coin, exposed view here, because it actually happens down here, but exposed view, deposit the coin on the fingertips as I revolve and push forward. In one action, it looks like this, something with 2 hands and a coin. It's got a real, and if I'm working for just 2 or 3 people, I will end with this 6 inches from someone's face. Boom! I want them to get a real sense. So it starts in classic palm. That's because it's easier if it's in my pocket. And I'm going up to a table. It starts in classic palm. I gesture. I say, "Hi, my name's Jay. What's yours?" Talk a bit, and I say, "Well, I'm going to start off with a simple something, given the sense that my hands are empty. Start off with a simple something." I then, while I'm making sure they're looking up at my face, and I've said something provocative like, "Hey, is your mother still breathing?" When they look up, I will then go in to the Goshman pinch and say, here's something with 2 hands, and I come forward and a coin. Okay, so it's just here, boom, like that. So that's a one-coin production. Now as a vanish, it's sort of in reverse. If I want to vanish a coin, I flick it. My left hand, I say, here's something, I say, but actually my right hand's ordinary. It's my left hand that's weird. And as I come up and I say it's my left hand that's got the power, or I say some crazy line, my right hand relaxes. I put it into pinch, I come back down and apparently take the coin. So it's that fake action of showing a coin here, your hand's up here, and you apparently take the coin away. But what I do is I put it into pinch, come forward. Now notice another important thing about Goshman pinch, and that is you've got to get in the habit of not showing your hand like that. Sorry, not showing your hand like this, but actually swiveling. You've got to get in that habit of swiveling so you don't flash the coin. So I can show you a coin here, and then apparently take the coin and make it disappear at my fingertips. So that's a way to use the Goshman pinch. First, as a production, here's something with 2 hands and a coin. And then if you want, from a production to a very simple vanish. Here's a truly eccentric application of the pinch. Lum mask, as we talked about earlier on the tape, the lum mask technique is to drop a coin that's been secretly concealed in the right hand through the thumb hole into the left hand. The idea of lum mask. Usually it's done from classic palm. I was playing one afternoon and I thought, what about going from pinch? What that means is I could vanish a coin. I could do the vanish like this, make it disappear. And then, since the coin's in pinch, I could make a fist here, come over, drop it into the hole, and wave the hand. So, in performance speed, and again, I'm just coming over, and this is the exposed view, I'm just going to drop the coin into the hole and then come back and cover. All right? Performance, it looks like this. As a whole little performance, as I taught already, I could say here's something with 2 hands and a coin. Actually, this coin is kind of fickle. I can make it disappear. But don't worry, the coin will come back when I want. So that's a lum mask pinch production. It's a weird one, but play with it. It's got a real magical quality. Alrighty. Here one kind of interested. This kind of interested me because it's a double pinch. You put 1 coin here, 1 coin there, and I simply put both coins in pinch. So let me get that right. If I put both coins in pinch, one behind the left, one behind the right, I was playing with this years ago, and I realized that if I put my hand over hand, if I drop the coin from one hand to the other, so essentially I'm dropping the one from the left hand onto the right fingertips, and the one from the right onto the left. So I can have 2 hands apparently empty, and just by waving them, they see, let me get this right, just by waving them, they see 2 coins appear as if out of nowhere. Now, in and of itself, it's cool, but I wanted to come up with a full routine where I could have that effect happen twice. Okay, so that's the water wheel production, and here's a really cool kind of 4-coin production. This is not easy. This is one of the harder things on the tape, for sure. You want 3 in classic palm. Actually, I'm sorry. You want 4 coins in right hand classic palm, and you want to be able to practice so that you can drop the coins from right hand classic palm 1 at a time. Okay? That, if you're not comfortable with that, that will take some work. But here's what you can do with it. You can talk about having invisible coins. You say, actually, you may not notice, but there are invisible coins floating in the air everywhere. They're everywhere. I say, watch. With my right hand, I'd make two with my right hand, I make a pinching action. My left hand, I make a pinching action. Now, I'm going to come forward, and as I do, I'm going to put one into pinch in the right hand and let one of the other coins. So I come forward like this. Now, I'm using two things. I'm using first, one is in pinch beneath the right hand. I'm also using the cap subtlety. And my hands are moving like this. I want to suggest, this is the exposed view. I want to suggest I'm holding invisible coins. And say, look, I've actually got invisible coins. I don't know if you can see them. It's really very, very pretty. And what I'm going to do is drop the coin from the right hand onto the left fingertips as I come over. Then let one of them fall from classic palm into this finger. So you want to get that sense that two invisible coins have just come into full view while your hands are going one over the other. Have that in finger palm. Drop this on top. I'm going to apparently toss the coins from here to the right hand. What I do is I let this one go and keep this one in finger palm. I'm going to produce, let one coin fall from classic palm in the right hand and put both coins on the table. So I've essentially switched. There's still one in here, and there's one in classic palm. Now I move forward again, and now I can open up my angles, because I'm not going to use caps this time, but both in the pinch, apparently two more coins, and once again have both coins appear. In performance speed, it looked like this. Watch carefully. Do not blink. Let your eyeballs go dry. In performance speed, you say, they're invisible coins. You may not be able to see them, but watch. I can just pluck a couple like this, and there's one. Oh, sorry. Let me get that right. Performance speed. You'd say, watch. I can actually pluck a couple of coins. Now, I know you can't see them, but if you watch carefully, you'll see the coins actually come into view. It's sort of magical that way. I say there's two of them. I should be able to get, oh, there's another one. There's another one. Again, you can't see them. They're invisible. But if I just dust off the invisible pixie dust, that's one. That's two, that's three, that's four, and that's a lot of man. This is about as visually as startling. It's visually starting. Things are starting to visual. Now they ended, and now they started. This is about as visually startling a routine, a production as you could get. It may strike magicians as sort of bold and obvious. I've done this for lay people many times, and it always gets a really good reaction. Word of advice, though, you have to do it on either a tablecloth, a rug, a close-up pad, or ideally like a lesbian with a very furry back. It's your choice. Because you're going to essentially drop, the only skill you need is 4 coins. You have to be able to drop 4 from classic palm, one at a time from your hand. If you can do that, here's the production. All happens right down here. Say, watch. I just wave my hands, and I should be able to get coins to appear. Has a real magical quality. I mean, if you're a real magician, this is how you do it. And all I'm doing is flashing, sort of waving here, flashing the left hand palm once or twice, just to suggest. You don't want to be doing this. Hey, look at that hand there, and emphasize. But you're here, you're there, you're there, you're there. So it's essentially you go once, the right hand goes in front, left hand goes in front, flashes. Right hand goes in front. Left hand goes in front. And it's from this position that I'm now going to move forward. As I go, I'm going to let the coins fall one at a time across the pad and finish up. So in performance speed, it is going to show you something with 4 coins. Now, unfortunately, we only have this cloth here, but if I give it a wave, I should be able to get all 4 coins to appear like magic. Here's something with 2 hands. Not a lot up here. Not a lot. There's not a lot up my pants. Oh, sorry. Watch. Something with some coins. To be precise, I've got here some American half dollars. I've got 1 American half dollar, 2 American half dollars, 3 and, oh, sorry, wait a second. I know I have a 4th. 4 American half dollars. Watch. I'm going to make all 4 coins jump from my fist into my pockets. Watch the first one go. Just like that. Number 1 goes. I had 4, now I have 1, 2, 3. Watch the second one. Just like that. I had 3. Now I have just 2. Only 2 American half dollars. I say watch the next one go. Just a snap. Just like that. Now I have only a 1. 1 American half dollar. I say watch the last one. Just a squeeze. It goes. Just like that. There's the first one in the left hand pocket. There's the second one in the left hand pocket. There's the third one in that pocket. And finally, there's the last one down in there. And this is a trick I do all the time. I do it everywhere all the time. It's just one of those tricks I do in between coins across and coin productions and stuff like that. And it has a lot of magic. I can do bits of business with erotic suggestions and then maybe zip myself back up and put away the killing machine. So it's fun. You start with all 4 coins in your palm, in your pocket. Now let's look at 2 moves first before we go any further. We want to look at the Himber Vanish. This is such a beautiful move. Watch this. I mean, they would swear that that coin just disappears. Now what you're doing, and it's not hard, is the coin does 1 revolution and then lands on the tip of your pinky. But because the left fingers are curled, people don't see it's landing on the tip of your pinky. It's a knacky move. I mean, even myself, I've been doing it for years, but every time the coin actually does what it's supposed to, does 1 revolution and lands on the fist, I always think to myself, thank you, Jesus. Which is weird, because sometimes I'll do the vanish of the coin. I'll go boom, and I'm thinking, thank you, Jesus. Then I open my hand, and they go, Jesus. So they're thinking Jesus, I'm thinking Jesus. We've actually pluralized an absolute. What do you do then? So that's the Himber Vanish, which Himber did vanish eventually. Ashes to ashes, dust to Dustin Hoffman. It drops, and it lands on the finger, but then this next finger actually clips it. You're clipping it, and you pull it back into the hand. So, but notice if I happen to have a coin already in the hand and I do the Himber Vanish, it clinks against it. So it's a clink pass, okay? This works well if you have a coin already in the hand or if you happen to have a metal hand. If your hand is metal, if it's a metal hand, then you're 1 ahead with the alloy. Let's go back down to the coins. So, 1, 2, 3. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So I can essentially do 2 coins for 3 count, saying there's a coin, and there's a coin. But it's only 2 coins. That's the key to the trick. If you can do the 1 move, that's really the central move, okay? Now, let's look at the structure. Let's get my favorite tricks in magic are tricks where you get light years ahead of them. You get light years ahead, and just when they think the trick is about to begin, you're half done. You just have to spend your time entertaining and focus on being, magical, dramatic, and funny, or whatever else, okay? So, all the 4 coins start in 1 hand, pocket. If they had to start all over my pockets and things, I would never do this trick. They start in 1 pocket. I reach into the pocket, I grab 3 of them. I say, here's a little something. Here's a little something. With 1, 2, 3, 4 American. I notice, I pretend like I'm surprised that there's only 3. I go, here's something with 3. Oh, I'm sorry. And with the attitude of, oh, there's a 4th, with that sort of half-beat acting, I pretend to spill these 3 coins into my left hand. What I actually do is this. 1 stays in the classic palm, and I use the Benzeus or the Marlowe friction move, Benzeus click pass, where the hand turns. This coin is going to stay on the fingertips, and it's only this middle coin that is going to fall into the hand. So 1 stays in classic palm, and 1 actually goes on fingertip rest. Again, the move is just here, there. Now, so I have 3 coins. And I go, and I'm looking for that 4th coin. Spill apparently those 3 into the hand, like that. Go into this pocket with the 2 coins palmed, leave one of them and come out with the other. Flick this up in the air, give them a shake. They think I've just taken 4 coins out and put them in my hand. I have 2 here, 1 there, and 1 there. All right, now, I'm in this position. I toss these into this hand, give a shake, I say I had 4, watch. Now I do the Himber count, showing 1, 2, 3. Okay? Just doing that Himber count. Now I give a shake, and now there are just 2. It's amazing how they saw 4, they saw 3, they saw 2, and it's, my sleeves are up, it's barehanded, and there's none of that annoying Johnson tinny shell sound. Like that. Do you hear that? Oh God. Hide me. They're coming. Okay, here we go. So you got 2. Now I do a clink pass, keeping 1 back in the hand as I snap my fingers, showing only 1. The flying shuttle, as we already discussed, the flying shuttle. And to finish, I do retention. Now, here's a point on my retention. I don't do a palm-up retention. David Roth, I learned my retention initially, I think, from the David Roth books. And the retention pass I'm using is very traditional, where the coin is apparently put in. Then these other fingers, actually, my first finger and thumb, pull the coin behind the others and then move back. All I'm doing is it's a little action like that. This is the traditional way. And typically, you do it with a palm-up hand, like that. You sort of flash it forward and then go back. But what I find with that is I only get to sell it for one beat, only one beat. I want to sell it for two. If I put my hand palm down, if I put it palm down, now I can go like this. Apparently put it into the hand, do the retention, and then turn the hand over. So you get 2 beats. 1 beat, 2 beat. You get 2 beats to sell it, okay? So we were here with 2. Now we only had 1 coin. Do a clink pass, shuttle, flying shuttle. Put the coin apparently in the hand, bring it near the pocket. All focus is here. Now I reach in with my empty left hand, take out the 1 coin that's in there. Do a shuttle pass, drop it on the table. Take out the coin again from the pocket. Right hand has a classic palm coin. Go in, take that one out, and finish by going with your empty hand, taking out your 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 coins vanish one by one from your hands, completely vanish, and then appear back inside your pockets. American half dollar. Watch it. Chinese coin. This is one of the most visual changes I know. I came up with it a long time ago. There's other stuff out there that's similar. This is the Capricorn change, and it's from Goshman Pinch, and it's just a nice sort of, it's a nice offbeat kind. It's a key to it timing. You have the object you want to switch in Goshman Pinch behind the hand. In this case, the Chinese coin. You have the other object on top. Now what I do is I first show my hands like this, so they mirror each other. Then the left hand turns over and rolls over that coin. Now I want it to look like I'm going to dump that coin into the, but what I do is I come over and I let the Chinese coin, as the hands come together, the Chinese coin is actually allowed to fall into finger palm of left hand, okay? Then and at the same time, the right hand finger palms the right coin. So you have this really pretty change of a Chinese coin in this case, showing both sides into an English penny. You can either go back into classic palm with this one, or you can go into Goshman Pinch, so that once you do the change, you can then toss it back like that. So it looks like this, where a coin will repeatedly change from a half dollar, boom, into a Chinese coin, from a Chinese coin, boom, into the half dollar. Capricorn change, a really visible thing. Great thing to toss into a copper-silver routine, or if there's been an accident outside, like a school bus goes on fire and 4-year-olds are running around and their little brunette hair is flaming and the teacher's going, Jesus, why now? Then that's the time to do that little coin trick, just to distract people from the misery of what it means to be a human being. This is really just a variation of the Capricorn change. It's called the pancake toss. Because you're going to, again, switch the coin in from Goshman for this one. But look at the action done this time. You're not going to go, it's not so much a deliberate put into the other hand as it is a toss. Looks like this. And this, there's no question, this is a great way to practice your Goshman Pinch, how to get in and out of your Goshman Pinch as fast as you can. Now, the exposed view is I'm just apparently tossing the Chinese coin, but I put my thumb on it, hold it back, let the other one fly from Goshman Pinch into the left hand as I come around, and once I'm in this position, this is my finish position, I immediately put this into pinch, the Chinese coin goes into pinch, as the right hand extends and gets ready to receive the other coin. And then I just repeat it, toss, back, toss, back. If you get your angles right though, it really looks like the half dollar visibly changes into the Chinese coin under complete test conditions. A truly rare example of a coin trick that is also a bit of mentalism. Oh yes, mentalism, creeping into your mind, stealing your thoughts while you sleep. You think, can he really do mentalism? I mean, would he ever really clip his nose hairs? I think not. I actually just transfer them onto my chin. You're thinking, can he really do mentalism? And the answer is yes. I may not have a huge triangle of mascara going up on my forehead, but I can still do mentalism. Watch. Coin trick that's also a mentalism trick. Something with some envelopes. Now the thing about this trick is that the layperson is truly allowed to pick any envelope they want. It doesn't matter. They can reach out and touch any envelope that they want, whatever one they choose. What you do is you say, well, that's interesting because you chose the one envelope that inside is a little half dollar. Now, there's no doubt that to a magician this may look like almost a wah, 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 wah kind of moment. But actually, it's a pretty powerful and deceptive little trick. Of course, you're using 6 empty envelopes. 1 American $half, that's, and the rubber band. Rubber bands around them. Okay. When you want to do this, you can use a quarter, a $half. You can use it. You could have a little dead mice head if you want. But that's there. It's in finger palm beneath. Okay. I take the rubber band off, spread out the envelopes, show a few front and back. You can show them all if you want, simply concealing the American $half, sort of as if you're doing the Matrix thing. I don't mean the Matrix with Keanu Reeves, of course. I mean Al Schneider's thing with the coins. Whichever one they choose, you out-jog that one. You now come over with the right hand, and from below, I'm literally going to take the coin. I'm going to sort of take the coin by the right finger, slide it forward and beneath the envelope. These you put aside. Do the Al Schneider thing, or the move where you show front and back. Okay, and all I'm doing here is pulling the coin back. It's older than Schneider, of course, but that's just a reference there. Now I come over, grab it between thumb and first finger beneath, open the envelope. Thumb goes in, fingers are on bottom, and the exposed view is that. But Jim Dandy, doesn't that look exactly like the coin was inside the envelope? So the only one they chose was the one that had the $half. If you want, for a gag, what you could do is if they want to check the other ones, they look inside and all they find are a centerfold, like June or July issue of Playboy, and you've ripped it into tiny pieces. So in all the others, there's a bit of porn, a bit of glory for the kids. This is a cool little idea you can just toss into a one-coin routine. Right now, one-coin routines are all the rage, what with Flurious and David Roth's elbow grease technique. This is, typically with one-coin routines that people do, again, a la Roth, is apparently take a coin, rub it on this elbow, it comes out of that elbow. And of course, all I'm doing is the retention. Now, I find with retention, at fingertip retention kind of stuff, it's fun to move forward with it, come forward, move forward with it. That beat really helps you deceive people. Something with a coin, okay? Like that. So forward, back, forward. And all I'm doing is retention, where I'm coming in, apparently taking the coin, and again, just pulling it in my hands. You'll find a lot of coin work, you kind of go, okay, what's the real work on it? Is there some sort of extra fidget move? No, it's about attitude. It's about using card work. You really can just think about your arms. Coin work, there's a fluidity. You have to think about your shoulders, your foot position. I often lead with my spleen. That's just, it's actually what's going to be the cover of lecture notes, leading with your spleen. But you're here. Now, this move, though, is a cool one because what you can do is in the middle of a coin routine, you can take it, rub it, and actually produce the coin from the elbow. Real direct. What I'm doing, and again, from the front, hopefully no flashings, is you take the coin. It's just, it's an idea I came up with watching the Hirata move, which was on one of the Camarand Academy, the Hirata move. The Hirata move involved chucking the coin. As you went down, you threw it into your lap. Here, all I'm doing is as I come forward, I let the coin fall straight down, and I make a cup with my hand against my stomach. So I'm here, and the arm uses the cover, and I let the coin drop. I'm just letting the coin drop directly behind the arm into the hand, and I'm in a perfect position to rub and produce. So from the front, I can take the coin, rub it here, it comes out here. Take it, put it up there, it comes out here. Or if I want, I can take it and just rub it here, and it comes out there. Using this sort of a gravity as your friend. Hi there! 2 hands, 4 coins. Watch carefully. This is kind of weird. I can take a coin and make it jump down inside that coin. 1 coin got et by another coin. Watch again. I just take these 2, and again, another coin gets et. It's consuming. Take this one. Don't blink. Watch. I'm going to actually... right inside that one. 3 coins inside. We'll get the first one out. Like that. Got 1 coin out. Watch the second one out. Just sort of 2. That's the second one. The last one in full view. The Heimlich maneuver. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 coins. Okay, this is one of these tricks. It's called mass consumption. It's from an old book of mine, and this is one of the ones that magicians come to my lectures. They come gunning for me, and they go, I read something in one of your books. I don't think any human being that wasn't mated with an octopus could possibly do this particular routine, Mr. Smarty Pants. And I go, hey, were you playing with crazy glue earlier? Why is your lip stuck to your other side of your face, freak boy? This has a couple of really bizarre moves in it, but this is the kind of stuff I come up with. I'm a bit of a freak. Okay, first one. Let's look at the sideways for the first move here. This is the side. Now, I want to make it look like I take the coin and they hear it enter this coin. So what I do is I do a false transfer. So I pretend it's in that, and as I come down, the right fingers are actually going to tap as I gesture here and say, with the whole idea of watching there, this is the exposed view. I actually tap against that other coin. So it's boom like that, boom like that. From the front, it looks like this. It looks like I got 4 coins. I go, watch, I'll take this one, and just boom, I missed my little, sorry. Say this one, watch carefully, just like that it goes inside. I'm just tapping a coin, okay? Then I do retention. I do the flying shuttle, showing only 1 coin. I pick this up, since I've got 1 in classic palm, I'm going to squeeze it and do a clink pass. It's going to go into palm as I do that, showing the second one, okay? It apparently gets eaten. This third one is a variation on the strike vanish. This is really weird. I'm going to chuck that coin in to hit those other 2 coins as I go down. So it ends up in there against the other 2 coins, okay? That's what I'm doing. But I combine it so it's like this. 1, 2, 3. It's a really visual, cool move. They've seen 3 coins, one by one, get consumed into 1. Now I just take them out using some pretty traditional moves we've already talked about. I do a shuttle pass, keeping that coin there and introducing this one. Put the 2 together, give a shake, showing 2 coins. Put 1 on the table. Now I can do another shuttle pass if I want, or a slick splits move, like that, as we've already taught. Second one. Actually, I apologize. The move I use for you guys, it's a little like jazz, is this weird production where you let a coin fall onto fingertip rest. So my position is this. 2 coins ostensibly held between thumb and finger. This third one on the fingertip rest is ready. And as I go 1, 2, on 3 I let this coin fall and the other 2 brush against it. From the front it looks like this. 1, 2. Let me get that for you. From the front it looks like 1, 2, 3. You want to make sure it's more of a downward action. 1, 2, 3. You fall that coin. Thanks, brother. Perfect. So that's the third one. You rock. And the last one, you can do either slick splits like that, or if you want to produce it in an unusual way, classic palm, you can simply say, oh, Jesus, I feel it in my veins. Oh, God. Can you feel? Oh, God. Jesus, look at that. He's the hollow man.
Jesus loves me, yes I know, for I read it in the National Enquirer.
I didn't know I was not alone. I thought there was just a man in here with me. Here's the real deal. It looks like a solid object. This is an old idea. This is a very old idea. What I've done is I've taken it and been able to find a way to get in and out of it in a really flowing fashion. What you want to make it look like is you want to make it look like you have an American half dollar, okay? And it's supposed to look like you take the coin, put it in the hand, and the coin disappears. But we know better. We know the coin is truly vanished. If I want to bring it back, I just give it a shake like that and it comes right back. In fact, I can take it, crumple it, make it tiny, but then I can grab it and make it come back. Now, let's break down those 2 sequences, because they're the real deal. That's real magic. First sequence is an old idea. The coin is apparently put in the hand, but what I do is I balance it on my right thumb. The 2 right fingers go into the hand, this comes around, and I deposit the coin in the back of my hand, behind my watch. Coming away, the right hand in the old door key, it's over there, it's over there. Open this hand, open that hand. Now, from the front, it looks like this. Looks like apparently I just put the coin in my hand, show it empty, show it empty. Now, how do you get it off the hand? That's always been the problem. After working on it for a long time, I discovered that when you do this trick for 2 or 3 people, what they do is they go from the empty left hand, they look at your right hand, they go back to the empty left hand, then they look you up in the eyes as if you're a bastard. The moment they look up into my eyes, I simply tip the coin off the back of the hand onto my palm. Then I immediately tip it back into the hand, back and forth. It's a kind of cover action. They see the coin apparently disappear. I say, no, it's really gone. But don't worry, I can bring it back if I want. And they get a sense that the coin has vanished and appeared in a pocket in the middle of the space. So that's the first sequence, okay? The Messiah vanish. Dominus. The second sequence is slidini, where I take the coin and apparently put it in the hand and wave my hand. What I've done is I go into thumb palm. I'm here, I put it up into thumb palm and go down as if to sell it, okay? So I'm around from the front, it's up, down, wave, and it's gone. Now, when I move forward to my spot in space, I'm actually going to drop the coin off on the fingertips. I drop them off on the fingertips, move forward and make a plucking action in the air, come back. But the key is from the front. It's got to look like real magic. It's got to look like you put it in the hand. Find your spot in space with your eyes. Find that spot. Then move forward to it, showing the hand empty. Then come back and show the coin. Incomplete. Complete performance speed. It is, I have a coin, it looks thawed. This ain't no thawed coin. This coin's about as thawed as your mother's commitment is to your husband. I believe your mother, I saw her, she took off the ring, she was in a motel the other day. She was doing that. Hear that dog? He senses doggy style, don't be rude. He senses, oh yeah, don't be rude, says the freak boy. What, take a coin, give it a little squeeze. Boo, that coin's gone like that. If I give it a shake like that, I can bring it back. It's not solid though. If I shake it, it'll disappear, and then I can bring it back like that. The coin will come back. It vanish and appear in midair. The truth, you couldn't handle the truth. Hi there. You might be wondering why I'm wearing a jacket. Well, I like to be formal sometimes. Here's something with an English penny. An English penny in two hands, okay? Going to use the English penny. We're also going to use an American $half. English penny, American $half. Watch. I'm going to try to confuse you so you don't know which hand has which coin. English penny or $half, you got no idea, but watch carefully. They gone. They really gone. All right. Now this is sort of a cool ditch I came up with years ago. Vanishing stuff into this handkerchief pocket is certainly not new. Doing an undercover of an apparent puzzle where they have to figure out which is which has a real nice misdirection. That's really my addition to this sort of chapter of coin magic. I'm using copper silver coin, okay? So I just reach in my pocket, show a silver coin, apparently take it, retention pass it, okay? Go back in the same pocket, take out and turn the coin around really hard, showing an English penny. Make two fists identical to themselves, which is weird because everything's identical to itself. I've pushed the copper silver coin out the heel of the hand. Now what I'm going to do is as I go in a circular action, trying to confuse them, this is plenty of misdirection to cover, and I'm going to drop that copper silver coin into my handkerchief pocket in which I've tucked some little bit of Kleenex in order to keep it open. So I go round, I chuck it into the pocket as I come forward, come away now. I really milk this moment because this is about as clean a magic as you can get, okay? Now, if you want a little addition, if you're working in a restaurant, grab a couple of the restaurant mitts. Have one finger palmed here, the other in your pocket. Now all you do is you come out and say, here's something with a $half. Apparently put it in the hand. Still there's actually a restaurant mint just in there. You've done a retention pass. Go into your pocket, finger palm the other restaurant mint, show the other side of the coin. Work this to the heel of your hand. So you've got two mints, mint in each hand, copper, silver coin. You say, I'm going to give you a chance. You've got to choose which is the copper, which is the silver. They're not sure, and you say, well, actually, you're wrong, whatever you guess, but there is a consolation prize. Turn your hands over and show two little restaurant mints. Give them to that, and quickly run to the management and say that someone kicked you in a very private place, and you demand compensation. Okay, here's another little complicated routine. I've tried to make sure this tape has a real mixed bag of stuff that sometimes it's a little simple, sometimes get a little complicated. Other times what I try to do is I try to make sure that there's stimulation. Every time you're seeing, you're hearing, there's something sunny, someone patches you, scratch and smell maybe, there's audio, there's olfactory, to the shows, that's always there, you know. Hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, sodium, magnesium, aluminum, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur. I do that from time to time, you know, periodically. Anyway. Here's a weird thing. You're going to have to learn the pointing transfer. This is a move I came up with Richard Sanders many years ago. Pointing transfer. The Tenkai pennies routine originally required that you would slide the coins across the hand. As you dropped off the coin, you would slide it. What we came up with is an idea where you tap this coin, make a fist, and the coin is now kept up near the first first phalange, the first rutabaga of the finger. Now, as this hand pivots out, I'm going to turn over in slow motion, drop it off under cover of pointing, hence the pointing transfer. Note, left thumb is not involved. Left thumb does not get involved. What this allows me to do is say, hey, there's a coin there, and there's a coin there. Let's show you again. Performance speed. There's a coin there, there's a coin there. All right? Now, the other move I want to show you before I show you the full Mexican jumping coins routine is this idea again of Richard Sanders where I can tap here if I want. But if I happen to drop a coin on top, I can tap those 2 coins with my empty fingers, and it sounds like I've got a 3rd coin in play. Okay? They think there's a 3rd coin here. It really sells that. Now, let's look at the full routine. And remember, we're going to use the Himber count, the Himber Sankey thing, the 2 for 3 count, okay, to begin. But watch, this is a routine that uses only 2 coins, but it looks like you're using 3. So you're actually 1 behind for the whole trick. Here's the performance. Got something with some coins here. Actually, I'm going to use 1, 2, 3 American half dollars. Watch the 3 coins jump from one hand to another. Just like that. See? Just like that. I had 3 there, but now I've only got 2 there. That's because one's gone across into the right hand. I say, watch the second one go. Just like that, there goes the second one. Now I only have 1 coin there and 2 there. Or you could say 2 down and 1 to go if you want. Watch the last coin go from my left hand. It's going to go from my left hand to join these 2 coins here. Watch the last one go. 3, 2, 1. That's all 1, 2, 3 coins from one hand to another. Okay, so let's break that down. It's a pretty clever routine, if I do say so myself, and apparently I do, and even put it on videotape. Watch. Here we go. You count the 2 for 3 using the Himber Sankey count. 1, 2, 3. Say the 3 coins are going to go from there to there. Now, what you've done is nothing so far, but you give a shake. And just like that, they see there's only 2 coins. Now, I would never open with this trick. There's too much faith required from the audience, so I don't open with it. What I do, though, once they're established, or they think I am Jesus Christ himself, walking on water, because it's winter, after all, frozen, ice, okay, anybody can. Anyway, once they see that, now they're more apt to believe that when I give a shake, that one of the coins did just go across. I'm going to use the pointing transfer here. 2 coins there, 1 coin there. I did the pointing transfer to make 1 coin go across. I say, watch the next one go. They just saw 2 coins in that hand. Now they see just 1. Already the coins are melting away. Pointing transfer. 1 coin here, 2 coins there. Now I'm going to do a pointing transfer back into the right hand. Or you could say 2 coins there, 1 coin there. Watch the last one. To finish, I do the Sanders idea of dropping off the coin, tapping with those 2 coins. I really emphasize as if I got a coin in here, but it's an empty hand. Classic palm this. Let the 1 coin fall just there on top of the other one. Count the 2 for 3. In performance speed, here's a little something with 1, 2, 3 coins. Watch. There goes the first one. See? Now I've got 2 coins there and 1 coin there. You could say 1 coin's gone across. Watch the second. Whoa! Just like that. Now I only have 1 coin there and 2 coins there. Or you could say 2 down and 1 to go. Watch the last coin go from my left hand to these 2 coins here. 3, 2, 1. That's all 3 coins from one hand to the other. Woo! This is no innovation. This is a subtle little addition to the body of work surrounding the striking vanish. David Williamson's striking vanish is definitely one of the most magical, versatile moves that's come out around coin magic in the last couple of decades. I mean, it's just a great move. In David's hand, it looks amazing. I mean, when David does the move, I think it looks astonishing. In everybody else's hands, including myself, I mean, everybody else is a mere mortal, apart from David. In my hands, too, it doesn't look very good. Let me show you why I think it doesn't look good. The way it's traditionally taught is you go tap, tap, then you chuck the object, you toss the object into the right hand as you come up and you go down. The idea is to go 1, 2, throw, 1, 2, 3, throw into the hand and down. Now, no matter what I've seen do it, apart from David Williamson, there's this sense of an up-down action. Like you go up and down. And when I watch people do it, there's this, my neck, I get this sore neck. What I figured out one day, though, for mere mortals like us, you and me, is that if you, instead of tossing the coin up, if the left hand drops away fast enough, if you just drop the hand and leave the coin in the air, you can actually scoop the coin out of the air. It can look as good as the striking vanish, but it's not as 1, 2, up, down. It's just 1, 2, 3. So I encourage you to practice that, dropping the hand fast enough that you can just scoop the coin out of the air. Just a thought. Oh, Lord, his jacket's back on. Look at the lining. Mama! I know. Now, but this is, because I know, myself, I sometimes work with a jacket on. I often work with just a vest, but I know there are a lot of professional magicians and amateurs and hobbyists who work with jackets on. So here's a really simple kitment to show your hands empty, but it's so simple, I'm convinced Robert Houdin must have come up with it. Just classic palm the coin and show there's nothing in this hand and nothing in that sleeve. That's it. Nothing up this sleeve and nothing up that sleeve. But it's a real natural. It's got beautiful cover, and all I'm doing is as I hike up this sleeve, I'm showing my hand, you want to twist it so that all focus stays there. And as I come over, I drop the coin from classic palm into finger palm as I come up and hike that sleeve. So in performance speed, it's just, hey, nothing up this sleeve, nothing up that sleeve, but look at this. Aye, baba, a coin. Thank you. Hello. This is one I've been doing for a long time. It's a neat combination. This is a trick that when I came up with it, I thought to myself, Paul Harris should have come up with this trick. It's got a real Paul Harris feel, the way the coins are used, sort of as playing cards, and the combination. It's got a real, also, he had a routine, Invisible Aces, or that four-ace routine where the aces just appear. It's so beautiful of his. This has that same sort of ethereal quality, I think. Let's look at a move first called the Hoppet. Sorry, not the Hoppet. The Hobbit. This is called the Hobbit move. The idea, the reason it's called the Hobbit is because the book The Hobbit has a subtitle. I think the subtitle is There and Back Again. I think it's the subtitle. So I like this because you actually produce the object from, it's just a weird psychology. Here's what it looks like. Take a coin, put it in the hand, say, watch that fish right there. The coin melts through. I say, look, I'll do it again. Watch, right there. The coin melts through. Now what's cool is, why I call it the Hobbit move, is because the coin starts in classic palm. I drop it so it hits the fist, and I actually catch it in the right hand. So the idea that the hand that catches the coin is the same hand where the coin began is such a weird idea. But if you do it with a card case, for example, where, for example, they think there's a coin inside the card case. Now look how effective this is. Watch, right there. It's a little push button. If I push it, the coin melts right out. Watch, we'll try it again. I just push it. The coin comes right out. So dropping from classic palm onto the card case, and you want it to land not on its edge, but flat. And then you pop it, and you catch it in the other hand, like that. Okay? That's the Hobbit move. It's a really strange move. Now, I'm going to show you a context where you can use it. We're going to do a couple things. The other move I should show you first, before we do that, is also David Roth's move, the pop-out. The pop-out starts in classic palm, and it happens right here, where you see I make an X, and where the index finger is, sorry, let's do that right, where the index finger is, the coin will appear. So it just looks like you drive your finger down, and a coin appears under it. Now, to do this, all you need to do is practice the action of moving the hand forward and the momentum of the hand going forward. You release the classic palm coin, and it ends up beneath the right finger. Okay? That's what's called a pop-out. Okay? Not to be confused with a drop-out. And a drop-out is a move I'll show you a little later on. Okay? So watch. Here we go. Now that we're gonna bend the card case like we did before, so that we can slip out coins easily once the case is closed, just like in the last routine I showed you, or a few routines ago. Here's start with 4 coins. Let me show you in performance speed, and then we'll break it down. 4 coins. I'm going to show you something really weird with this card case. It looks like an ordinary card case, but there's a push button there. I don't know if you can see it. Watch. I push it, and a coin will melt right out. That's the first coins come out. Watch again. Just a push, and you'll see the second coin comes out. Sorry about that. That's 2 coins. Watch the third one come out. That's 3 coins. You can hear the last one. You can hear inside there. I've made 3 coins come up. Watch, the last one's going to come out just by me pushing the button. The last coin comes right up through the case. That's 1, 2, 3. That's all 4 coins. Really simple trick. There's a lot of kind of cool little ideas in there. Now let's break them down. For starters, first move. I take the coin. I'm going to classic palm one of them. Let the other 3 fall forward. So I've got 3. It's going to look like I put the coins in, but what I actually do is I slip 1 coin into the case, the other 2 coins beneath the case. All right? So 1 in, 2 beneath. I close the case up and give it a shake. It sounds perfect because I got one inside to give that sound, the two beneath to give your clinking. Now I'm going to do the hobbit move. Push the button, let the coin hit and catch it in the right hand. The first one. Now I want to shake these so the two coins are slightly separate of each other because I'm about to do hand ping chen. Coin roll, pull it back into the hand. Sorry. Coin roll, pull it back into the hand and let the one coin fall out. That's the first one. The second one, back in classic palm, I do the hobbit move again. Poke, poke, jump. The second one. Again, hand ping chen. Second one comes from beneath the case. Kept one back here. Third one, since you've got one in the hand, all you have to do is a shake and watch. It looks like real magic. It really sells the idea. Poke. There's the third one, just like that. They hear the last one inside. Now notice, it slides out easily, right? So this is the clever last part. If I take these three coins, and I say all three coins, toss them, and I retain one coin back, I do the David Roth pop-out move. If I tip this coin in the hand, the one in the case will come at the same time, leaving me with 1, 2, 3, 4 coins and an empty and examinable card case. Okay, we've covered hand ping chen, chen ping hen, and then HPC CPH, which is hen ping chen, chen ping hen. Let's take it a step further. We also covered the lum mask thing. Let's look at hand pinch chen. I'm not kidding, hand pinch chen. Here's the idea. If I have a coin beneath the left hand in pinch, and I have a coin in my right hand, I could put this into pinch, the right hand's coin into pinch, sweep around, and apparently toss the coin down, but it actually comes from beneath the left hand. So it's hand ping chen insofar as a coin secretly moves from the left hand down. Okay, that's what makes it hand pin chen. Again, right hand goes into pinch, left hand has a pinch. I come over having nothing there, but by the time they see it, it looks like, so that's hand pinch chen. Now what can you do with it? I'm going to show you a coins across that's really magical, and typically, and this isn't key to remember, I ask a spectator to cup their hands together as if they're begging, but of course they're not. I say as if you're begging, but of course you're not. And I do this trick into their cupped hands. So, let's look down here. If we pretend that this is their cupped hands, this spot, this is the way this trick works. I'll say, here's a little something with 3 coins. I go, watch. Just a shake. And now, a coin has traveled across. I say, watch, the second one. Just a shake. There goes the second one traveled across. Sorry, that was a little sloppy. Say, here comes the third one. That's the last one. That's all 3 coins have traveled across. So I'm using hand pinch chen, and here's how I'm doing it. I've got an extra coin. That goes into pinch. I say, watch the first one. I put one of these 3 coins into pinch as I give a shake and show now one's there, 2 are there, and notice that I come forward with the 1, forward with the 2, and then swing forward. This goes into pinch as I drop the one off from beneath the left hand and clean up. I say, watch the second one, just a shake. That's the second one going across. And again, I clean up. The last one, again, I show the pinched coin here, put that one in pinch, move forward, drop that off. And to give this hand cover while it turns over, I reach forward, pick up the coins, pick them all up, and I've been able to make the coins travel one at a time, one more time performance speed, in a super clean way. Where I say, here's something with 3 coins. Watch, just a squeeze. There goes the first one across like that. I say, there goes the second one across like that. That's number 2. Here comes the last one. That's the third coin. All 3 coins have gone across one by one. Hand pinch chen. A move whose time has come. This is just weird. This is me taking an idea even further. Again, I've got to get out, get a life, I've got to get a family, I've got to stop thinking about these weird coin things. But this is a palm up hand ping chen. Palm up hand ping chen. Now, what I mean by that is this. Let me show you the simplest example. A copper coin and a silver coin. Okay? Now watch. Silver coin, copper coin. If I take the copper coin and just wave it, look, now it's silver too. Now what I'm doing here, that's really odd, is this is a copper-silver coin. It's tails up there, copper-silver coin. If I let this coin fall and I toss that one on its spot and move away, you'll notice the eye will not pick up any change on this coin because I've let one fall and one move away. If you're looking for it, you'll see it. But if you're not looking for it, there's nothing to see. It simply looks like I take the copper coin, slide it away, take the silver coin, give it a squeeze. Now there's copper and there's silver. The cool thing about this structure is I can show both sides of the coin in the left hand, rub it, and then show both sides of the, rub it, then show both sides of the coin the right hand. So that's palm up hand ping chen. Now this is a classic routine I used to do at my lectures. When I first lectured when I was about 17 or 18, I used to do this trick all the time. It's definitely a trick for magicians, but it'll show you some of the possibilities you can do with a palm up HPC CBH. For it, you need 4 coins and a copper silver coin. They can start off very openly. You can take out all 5 coins with a silver coin uppermost and put them on the table. No one's going to count the coins. Say, here's a little something with some coins. I take the pack. I got a rubber band going around it. And this is a thing I came up with years ago. This is the pyramid. I came up with this a long time ago. Now watch, if I give it a little shake like this, it'll actually pop up into a little pyramid automatically, which is kind of cool. I know. One of my little proud babies. Pops up into a pyramid. I pick up the coins. I palm off one of the ordinary $50 and say, we're going to use some coins and some cards. Now I'm going to tilt this forward. And it looks like I've just tilted it forward and adjusted it. But if you come around with the camera, come around, you'll see what I've done. I've propped a coin up at the back. And to do that, all I did was, as I leaned it forward, the coin that was in fingertip rest, I just leaned up against the back of it like that. So that coin's there. All right, now, I can show 4, the triangle, and 4 American $50, okay? Show all 4 of them. And I say, watch, I'm going to actually make them change one at a time. I turn them all tail sides up. And I go, watch carefully. And I actually go away with, sorry, I got lost there. I actually go away with the copper silver coin. That's right. So I've got 3 American $50. Notice how one's separated from the other 2. This is my copper silver coin here. I go, watch, just a squeeze. And I show, look, there's the English penny. Now I do the palm up HPC, palm up hand ping chen, where I apparently toss the English penny in, but actually what I do is I toss in the other American $50 and toss that over. Let's do it again. I'll show you what I mean. Watch the second one. Squeeze. There's an English penny there. I say, watch the next one. Squeeze. There's an English penny there. And I keep doing the palm up. Finally, boom, last English penny. I say the weird thing is if I take the English penny, squeeze it, and get the $50 again, just turning over the copper silver, to finish, I apparently drop this on the coins. But what I'm going to do is lift the triangle. And the moment I lift the triangle, the coin at the back is going to fall forward and watch the perfection of the illusion. Bummer, not that part. And just like that, I've switched out the copper-silver coin for the last one. They can examine all 4 coins. There's no English pennies among them. I've changed them one last time, and they're none the wiser that in my right hand I have the copper-silver coin of Al Jarreau's kidney spleen system. It's weird, but it's sweet. That's okay. No, it's okay. Keep it on. Keep it on. I'll ask you about it in a second. We'll do that. Okay.
Funny money.
This is one of my all-time favorite bar tricks. It's so simple. You borrow the props that are needed, or at least it appears that you borrow all the props. You do an astonishing, simple piece of magic that doesn't even require any patter to support it. If you can do it, you could just do it like a mime, it would still kill. Then you give all the props back. So it's got all the elements for a perfect bar trick. I'm going to show you the two-way toss. Now, the two-way toss is very much based on Ken Krenzel's The Marionette Vanish, okay? The key to the two-way toss is as you toss one object, you're going to see more of this tossing action I love to do. This object's left hanging in the air, and you scoop it up. So what I'm going to actually do is the 2 coins are switching places. As I chuck one, the other one is not thrown. Remember, the key is I'm not throwing. I'm actually letting the left hand drop fast away enough, and the right hand's moving forward that I'm just scooping the other coin out of the air from behind. Okay? So that's the two-way toss. Here's a wonderful application for it. Have an extra quarter in your hand, palmed. Borrow a quarter, borrow a bill. You borrow both objects, okay? You say, I'm going to make a paper prism. I'm going to take the bill and ball it up to a tight, airtight little ball. And of course, I've just loaded the quarter inside the bill. I say, watch. Do not take your eyes off your quarter. 1, 2, 3. they can now open up the bill and they find inside the quarter. Now you could do this with a marked bill, a marked coin. I strongly advise you not to. The old cliche, don't run when you're not being chased. There's no heat on this. That you borrow both objects, the bill and the quarter, you show both sides, you've got the quarter beneath here, you ball it up tightly, and in full view of them, they see you apparently toss the bill at the quarter melts right inside. I back away. I'll even put my hands in my pockets. I back away. I say, go ahead. They open up. When they find the quarter inside, it's just, again, and they get to keep all the props. You borrowed and finished with everything in their hands. Get the two-way toss down. Try this once or twice. It'll be well worth the practice. I've spent well over 20 years trying to develop the strongest coins across trick I could come up with. I want something that's good on angles, something that's commercial, something that I can do anytime, anywhere, and most of all, something that looks like real magic. Key to real magic, simplicity. It's got to look simple and it's got to look convincing. So several years ago, it's got to be 3 years ago now, maybe 4 years ago, in my videotape, Short and Sweet, I came up with a trick called Mr. Clean Coins Across. And it turned out to be that trick. The coin trick was the strongest, most popular trick on that tape. A lot of magicians, particularly professionals, contacted me and said they thought it was a really clean coins across. Just a lot of great people from the West Coast and East Coast. It was sort of made the circles. And I'm going to show it to you now. I've refined a little bit more. There are one or two other tricks that have come out since after my videotape. This is one of the frustrating things about creating. After I put out my version 6 months, a year, 2 years later, there have been a couple other coins across that are extremely similar. But I think if you go back and look at this original version, I think you'll see that a lot of the strong elements were there from the beginning. So, and again, revolutionary. It's not a revolutionary handling, but it's a really clean handling. So here it is, Mr. Clean Coins Across. Something with 3 coins. I'm going to make all 3 coins jump from my left hand to my right. Watch the first one. Just like that. This one's going to go from there and join that one there. Watch the second one. Finally, the last one is going to go from my left hand to join these 2 coins here. Don't take your eyes off it. 3, 2, 1. That's 1, 2, 3 coins across. Which I think you'll agree is about as clean as a coins across. There's no back and forth action. There's no shells. There's no you're one behind or one. It's just boom, boom. This trick, when I do it for people, I do very little patter with it. I do it right in front of them. And I gotta say, it's the kind of trick that literally pisses people off. The first coin, they get frustrated. The second coin, they get angry. The third coin, they're livid. It's just so direct, there's no place for them to go magically. I do this everywhere. All right? Now, we've already learned about the Gauchman pinch, which we're using, and we've already learned about the pointing transfer, which we're using. And we've already learned about the tap, the Richard Sanders idea of dropping coin off as you tap. So we just put it all together, and here's what we have. 3 coins are apparently tossed from the right hand into the left. What I actually do is hold one back using, again, the Ben Zayas quick pass or the Marlowe friction. Okay? And I go this in a classic palm. As I say, this coin's going to go from here. One coin's going to go from here to here. Show this hand empty. Okay, but it's actually gone to Gauchman. I give a squeeze. Show the first one. So that's number 1. And what I'm doing to get it in is this is a good point, I don't pull it in with my thumb. I give it a shake. I shake upwards, and because of the momentum of the fist, the coin pops into the hand. All right? So that's the first one. Now I do the pointing transfer. And as I do it, I put this one beneath the Gauchman pinch, so it looks like this one's going to go from here and join that one there. But what I'm doing is putting one beneath the pinch, pointing transfer, dropping that one off. But you put it all together, and it looks copacetic. It looks like you're saying, this one's going to go from here and join that one there. Second one, same thing. Very frustrating for a layperson. Last one, I put this in the Gauchman pinch in the right hand. As I tap, drop the 1 coin, I hold this coin right in front of a spectator's face. I hold it right in front of their face. I make a fist. I then give a shake. They find all 3 coins in the left hand. When I do this for people, they often hold their gaze on this fist even after I've dropped the 3. They're convinced the last one's in here. When I open my hand, a single bloody tear trickles down the side of their face every single time. Real simple, real organic, handful of change, baggy, Very simple. I'm certainly not the first person to play with baggy ideas with Ziploc baggies. A couple people have. The idea is the simplicity itself. You've got an extra dime, which you palm, a dupe. You got a dupe dime, which you palm. And you ask someone, do they have a dime? And they ask them to put their initial on the dime. They do. So they end up putting a big initial written on the dime. Now, all I'm going to do is take the dime. Your palmed coin starts in the left hand. Is take their dime and false transfer it from the right hand to the left hand. Pick it up with my fingers. Hold open the bag of change with nickels and dimes and quarters in it. Drop apparently their marked coin directly into the bag. Give it a shake and seal it up right in front of them. Okay? You want to get a sense of. You want to do this with a sense that you're just beginning the trick. They mark a coin, you drop it in the bag, you shake it up. Very fair. Now, the key to this for the actual technique is while you're shaking the bag, you come over and you hold the bag, and what you're actually doing is the coin is in finger palm or fingertip rest, and your thumb props up the front edge because the grip you want is that grip. That's the grip you want. You want to make sure that when you come over so that you can load the dime behind the bag beneath your thumb. That's the position you want. From the front, it looks like I'm shaking the bag, and then I come over with my right fingers and simply take the bag, and I've loaded the coin behind it. And I ask someone to hold their hand, and I say, watch this, you won't believe this. We've ziplocked the bag. This is a freezer bag. There's no way for moisture or anything to get in and out. I go, watch, you're going to find on 3 shakes. 1, 2, 3. They see a coin fall neatly out, and it is their marked dime. So it's a real simple piece of magic, and all I'm doing is, of course, covering the trajectory or the fall of the dime. You want to make sure your grip on the dime is as tenuous as possible, a real light grip on the dime, so that you go one, and by going down with the bag, the coins come up, and there's this, it covers the trajectory of the dime when you let it drop on 3. 1, 2, the coins come up, you let the dime drop, 3. It falls neatly into your hand, you end clean, handing the marked dime, you can hand this out, and people invariably want to examine the surface and take a good look at the bag. It is a real visual, simple penetration. David Roth's move, pop-outs, inspired me to work on other kinds of moves like that, and I came up with a move called a dropout. And a dropout is a really cool move, well worth the practice. You can come up with just devastating kinds of penetrations and up through things and all this, and down through things, all this. Let me show you the dropout. You have the coin in classic palm, and you're going to let the coin fall from classic palm. In this case, I'm using large silver dollars because this is the routine I typically do it with. But you let the coin fall, it lands on the table on its edge, and you immediately pluck it between the middle finger and thumb. So it looks like the coin literally appears out of nowhere, right at your tips. That's what a dropout is. Now this is a perfect move, of course, for what? Coins to the table, right? So here's what I do. Let me show you the performance speed. Say something with a coin. Actually, it's a large American silver dollar. Look, I can take the coin, and I can actually put it down through the table. Actually, let me open up this even easier. Let me open up this other flange here. Here we go. Okay. So I say, watch. I take the coin, and I'm going to put it right down through the table. Listen. Just like that, it goes down to the table. I say, look, we'll do it again. I'll take the coin. Listen carefully. It goes down through the table. If I want, I can even make it go up through the table. So this always gets a guess. It's very strong magic. And of course, what I'm doing is I have 2 of them, okay? And I do flying shuttle to show my hands empty. I only do this for performance here on the video so you can see it. I do it a few times. In real performance, I wouldn't do it more than twice while talking to people, okay? I take the coin and do a false transfer into the left hand. Come over and do the old tapping, and at the same time, as I tap on the underside of the table, I'm hitting this coin underneath the table. So, of course, you get this. Now you move it around while making a circular gesture with the other coin beneath, and then snap the coin up against the underside of the table like this. You snap it, so you end up with this, like that. Boom. That itself is a really good trick. I then do a a shuttle pass here, show the coin, and now I'm going to really move forward with a solid coin. But I go from here to classic palm. So I move forward with just the fingers. So they see this gesture, classic palm, come over, and again underneath the table, I'm going to go circular and snap. I'm now in a perfect position for dropout, which is where I take the coin back under. I go 1, 2, and on 3, do a dropout. Come forward with the holding the coin still, but I immediately do a flying shuttle to clean it up. So performance speed looks like this. This is a solid object, and the table is a solid object. But still, I'm going to try something kind of odd. Watch. Just like that, it goes through the table. I say, look, we'll do it again. I did it once, I'm going to try it again. Watch carefully. I'm going to take the coin down through the table. What's really weird is watch me take it 1, 2, up through the table. A solid object through a solid object.
Well, there you have it. My little video on the coin magic. I think you'll find many of the moves you've never seen before. I hope you practice lots and have a good time. I appreciate your interest in me and my strange magic. As I go through my life and try all the different drugs this world has to offer, I appreciate you supporting my creativity. The thing about it is, when I speak sometimes, I have no ending to my sentences, but in the end, it's always pure, unadulterated magic of the soul.
That's a cut.